Ave Maria, this is Father Angelo for Standing Fast, a weekly commentary on Catholic life in the public square. A lot of times I'm talking about chivalry, and of course associated with the idea of chivalry, sometimes one of the things that we think about before anything else is King Arthur and his round table and the Holy Grail. And a lot of people who are interested in knighthood and chivalry are still looking for the Holy Grail. We know that Dan Brown thinks he found it, at least in a literary way, trying to push his neo-pagan ideas, and the spirituality of sex is basically what it comes down to, and we know that's a farce. There are still some that are looking for the physical cup of the Holy Grail, not just people who believe in the Eucharist and the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass and the teachings of the Church, but very often people who are neo-pagan. If you go to Glastonbury in England, which was originally which was built as a monastery and shrine, one of the oldest shrine to Our Lady in England, at the ruins there, people believe that the bodies of Arthur and Guinevere are buried. And some also believe that somewhere the Holy Grail is to be found in that area, or at least clues to where the Holy Grail is to be found. And but Glastonbury itself is no longer as Catholic a place as someone like myself might hope. It's actually a center of the New Age neo-pagan movement there, and you'll find some very strange things going on in Glastonbury throughout the year. And this is because the Holy Grail has become sort of a neo-pagan symbol in many respects, as Dan Brown points out. Others, who are looking for the cup, really, that our Lord used at the Last Supper, and who believe in the Eucharist, have their own little quests that they're often running on. And one particular tradition ascribes the Holy Grail to be having been taken to Spain by St. Lawrence. And so there is a Grail cup in Spain that is venerated as the Holy Grail. It really has nothing to do, that particular tradition has nothing to do with the legend of St. Arthur. But the legend, whether true or merely literary, has a spiritual meaning. And really, all of us are looking for the Holy Grail. We're looking for an experience, a transcendent experience that we can't find anywhere else. And for us who are followers of Christ, that is in fact the Eucharist. That is Christ our Lord present in the Blessed Sacrament. And it is something that true we as Catholics can have every day. And yet that experience of God, which is truly transcendent, is dependent upon our willingness to conduct a lifelong quest. A lifelong quest for our Lord's real presence. Not just, our ability to go into the church and kneel before the Blessed Sacrament, but our ability to understand and appreciate our Lord's real presence as perfectly as possible, and to receive Him in the Eucharist and Holy Communion with true devotion and gratitude, with the purity of heart of a saint. And that contemplative experience is something that is worth seeking our whole life long and worth cultivating. In another way, the Holy Grail, as the cup of Christ, the cup that was used in the Last Supper and held the precious blood, does really represent something feminine. It is a womb-like vessel, but the womb-like vessel that it represents is not Mary Magdalene. It is Our Lady, who is the Ark of the Covenant, and who is the first tabernacle of our Lord's real presence. And she, more than anyone else, pursued the life of grace, went on the quest for union with Jesus with a pure and generous heart. And so as we conduct our quest for the Holy Grail, we are really looking to Our Lady. There's a book called The Virgin and the Grail, which is basically, its thesis is that the earliest image that may have been the inspiration for the first story about the Holy Grail, written by Chrétien de Troyes, would be an image of Our Lady in the Pyrenees, holding the cup of our Lord. Now, why it was there's a number of churches in this one particular area that have this image of the Blessed Mother, and nobody knows why those images are there or what the origin of those particular images are. And it was only for a very short period of time that these images appeared, and it was around the time that the Grail stories were written. But there is real basis for thinking about Our Lady when we think about the Holy Grail. And so we do need to think about her, and we need to pursue our relationship with Our Lady, looking to her as our way into the mysteries. The Holy Grail is a mystery, but it's not a Gnostic mystery. It's not a mystery that is so hidden that only a select few who know the secret can enter into that mystery. Our mystery is the mystery of the Rosary, and anyone who wants to see the life of Christ through the eyes of Our Lady will have that mystery unlocked for them. So let us pursue the Holy Grail, and ultimately that Grail will lead us to the presence of Christ. Until next time, this is Father Angelo for Standing Fast. God bless you, and Ave Maria.